850,000 Bitcoins that were going to be released by Mt. Gox trustees. They give themselves an extra year. Just think about getting hacked 10 years ago, having your coins on Mt. Gox, getting them taken. They were supposed to repay creditors, essentially by October 31st. They've given themselves an extra year. Like you need an extra year. You only had 9. Now you need 10 years. We've been waiting a decade. So also the FTX holdings could be eventually sold, the Solana and the, different holdings, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, all their holdings and stuff like that in that litigation and in that proceeding. So I wouldn't worry about this stuff, guys. There's that. Then there's maybe positive news. Oh, there could be a Bitcoin ETF. I've been waiting on that for 10 years. So everything happens just really, really slow. It gets very, very boring. I just don't think that you should worry about that in executing your strategy, because if this bangs out, if we have the next bull market starting in 2025, then you want to be in position. And this last year has been very, very hard on a lot of people. Inflation is just kicking everybody in the teeth. There's no way it's not. We see what's going on in the US, Canada, and the rest of the world. The inflation situation is absolutely out of control. They obviously caused this, with all this money printing and no checks and balances. And so that's the reality that we're living in. And, you're going to have to fight against that to stack. You need bigger bags. None of us have big enough bags. I don't have enough coins. You don't have enough coins. Think bigger. Whatever you're going for, whether that's supercars, jets, yachts, retirement, whatever that is, crypto is your freedom. There is nothing that is going to stop crypto. The Biden administration is not going to stop crypto. The SEC is not going to stop crypto. None of these government entities will stop crypto. The only thing that will stop crypto, and I said this last bear market, is if a Mars-sized asteroid hit the earth and cracked it in half. That's it. And if you guys listened to me last bear market, and stack bags, people watched me and they thought, I had several people tell me, I thought you were throwing your money away. I thought you were flushing your money down the toilet. I thought you were crazy. And again, we saw what happened. Popped off once again, and it's going to happen again. Might not happen exactly the same, but again, often history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. So in a very similar fashion, people anticipate this next move up. A lot of the weak hands get flushed out, and a lot of this stuff is long-tailed for a year almost, 6 months to a year. Look at Dogecoin. It's been long-tailing 5 cents to 6 cents for a year. Starts to long tail like that, it's a good sign we're skipping across the floor. That's basement level, that kind of stuff. Now, could you have a capitulation move, let's say on Doge, down to 2 cents, down to 3 cents, down to 4 cents? Maybe, unlikely, and if it does, it's going to be quick. But be ready for those capitulation moves. They're going to happen in Bitcoin, they're going to happen in Ethereum, BNB, this and that. We have a lot of these entities holding a lot of coins. Let's say Mt. Gox trustee holds 850,000. You've got like MicroStrategy holding 150,000 Bitcoins. You got Block One holding probably over 100,000 Bitcoins still. I think the Chinese government holds a lot. Various different entities, different players have large amounts. Now, I see part of that obviously as a negative. You see it as a positive. That supply is kind of out of there partially. We don't have to maybe worry about it in the short term. But ultimately, if these companies and large institutions, large entities have this stuff on their balance sheets, they don't need to earn 5x, 10x, 20x. They'll be good with 2 or 3x. And it's not easy to double your money in business. And we saw that with Tesla. They bought in at 30,000, sold at 60,000. Kind of thing. That's a huge win, and you got to somewhat think the same way on this, on Bitcoin and larger cap altcoins like Ethereum. Interesting thing with Ethereum though, It's probably going to be deflationary in 2023 because of the burn mechanisms and stuff that was put in. But you also have those coins coming out from the people who were, you know, on the beacon chain before the merge. There's a lot of coins out there that'll eventually be given to them as rewards for, and all this stuff's happening so slow. That's the most annoying thing about crypto. Things do not happen as fast as you think they're going to happen, and a lot of things go dormant, and it's hard to get funding and get excited and keep kind of moving forward in these bear markets. But this is the good time to build, whether that's building positions, whether that's building community, networking. And again, as I said in my last video, competition gets stiffer. You got to think, guys like me, I've been in for 10 years. I know a lot of people in crypto through blogging platforms like Steam, Hive, Blurt, DTube, you know, all this kind of stuff. And, you know, everybody's kind of teaming up. There's a tribe mentality, you know, and going forward with those types of things. Also look at some of these YouTubers that are, you know, using more advanced strategies or detailing projects that are maybe moving forward, that do have the capacity to do something that's maybe a little bit more revolutionary. One of the things I did see, just in accordance to that, and I tried it out on BuySwap, they basically had a limit order thing for stable coins that you could have 0 fees and no slippage. Now, I don't exactly, because I did not look at the code or dig into it, but I did it and I got 99% of my order filled from Binance USD, so BUSD, to USDC. But I was like, well, what about this extra 1%? And it was like, it had not came through, like there wasn't enough coins that somebody else had brought in, so I'm waiting on that. I'll have to check on it later. So it could take a little longer, but it was like, you could essentially get from one stable coin to another with no slippage, no fees. So that's it. Kind of a somewhat revolutionary thing, because that's better than the centralized exchanges, and better than, you know, other decentralized exchange mechanisms. So I think we're going to see more and more of that kind of thing to attract people to use these various different platforms. One thing I did notice on BuySwap, I used to get so many fees like kicked back. Like literally it was like you got all your fees back in the BSW token, let's say like 2 years ago. Then they kind of cut it in half where you're getting like 50%. And then here lately, it's been almost like, it's not stacking up more. Like I haven't been getting coins back because my balance keeps kind of staying the same with the BuySwap token. So I don't know exactly what happened with that. You know, PancakeSwap and these different decentralized exchanges keep rolling out, you know, new version, version 3, so on and so forth. So the ecosystem evolves, and at the end of the day, no matter what the SEC does, different coins are banned, this and that, you have these things like the IBC, that, you know, inter-blockchain communication, and you have other ones that are, you know, that are not necessarily have any kind of name to them, but that you can get from this chain over to this, or bridge to this, bridge to that, get over to this. And knowing how to move in crypto is a very, very, very important thing to be able to do without getting back to these major fiat gateways or ones that have kind of compromised with all this KYC. And other people have said this before, I'm not the first one. KYC is a scam. That's a honeypot for hackers. You shouldn't have to give up your identity for that kind of thing. And these exchanges feel forced into doing it, you know, to attempt to comply. And then they often still get sued by the SEC, so it's kind of weird. So at the end of the day, they're doing what they have to do, but you do what you have to do. You know, one of the guys that I follow for more of the kind of like risky stuff, and I keep a heartbeat on it, is Stunner Breezy. He always says crypto is a solo sport. You gotta look out for yourself. Anyway, with that, guys, don't let these other things, these news pieces, be a distraction. That this and that amount of coins is going to be sort of maybe hit the market. There could be sell pressure, could be this, could be that. At the end of the day, you do what you think you need to do. But I'm telling you right now, myself, and my other, obviously contacts in the crypto market, we're stacking. We're taking positions and we're taking down crypto real estate, crypto, you know what I mean? Crypto, just different space in the crypto industry. Whether that means that you're going to buy coins, you're going to buy NFTs in a certain collection, you're going to buy maybe space in something like a Decentraland or some kind of metaverse, whatever you're doing, whatever your strategy is, I think you should really kind of lay that out and, keep moving, keep it flowing, be in position. Because like I said, many times when the rocket takes off, you got to be strapped in. And the thing that sucks, you're gonna have to wear your adult diapers, because you might be strapped in there for 4 months, 6 months, a year and a half. It gets painful, it's rocky, it's not easy. You don't see all these people talking about crypto right now. This is the situation that you have to really kind of come up with a game plan and do what you're gonna do. Execute your strategy, because again, I've had people say it over and over again. Oh, why don't you just get up? Why don't you just get in when this stuff starts going up? It's too late. It's too late, because it just takes off. So anyway, guys, what are you guys stacking? Is anybody got coins that they lost on Mt. Gox? Over time, I've ran into 2 people. There was a guy in Tucson that had coins that were on Mt. Gox that he lost. And there was a guy I met in Thailand that was from the UK that had lost, coins on Mt. Gox. Those were the only 2. When I started in crypto, Mt. Gox was still, it was actually the biggest exchange in the world at the time. It was still running, operating. And I looked at it and I was like, I don't know. I think you had to wire like a minimum of $2,000 to a Japanese bank. And I was like, I don't know. And I kind of sat on that. And then there was also BTCE, I think it was called. It was like some kind of Eastern European exchange, and it was kind of a similar type of thing. You had to wire like 2,000. And I kind of took a step back from that. I was like, I don't know, like, should I do that? And then ultimately I found out about Coinbase. So, and I was already mining. So I was already mining and figuring some of that out and mining some alts. So anyway, guys, anybody have coins that got stuck on Mt. Gox that they still have not been able to made whole again? I'm kind of curious if there's anybody out there. Anyway, guys, follow me on all social media at Brian Phobos, YouTube, Instagram, Steam, at Twitter, DTube, Hive, Blur, everywhere.